Should your hairstyle stop you from getting a job? Now, y'all know, and all of us at the table, we all have similar hairstyles. I love my hair. I love getting it faded. I love getting it braided. I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. But I do feel like my hairstyle has stopped me from getting certain positions, if I had to be like very honest with you. I've been told by people like, you can go in there with your hair like this? You gonna get it cut like that? And I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with that? They was like, well, over here, you know, we don't necessarily know if that's a good thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you should think about that. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with the way that I wear my hair? So when I apply for jobs, I look at the job description, and then I kind of like do a lot of research, and I'll be like, well, wait a minute, this is a corporate job. And I'm not saying don't go in presentable. You always want to, you know, present the best you. But when you start telling me I have to look a certain type of way, I gotta dress a certain type of way, because if I don't, then you're not gonna hire me, then we got a problem. So now when I apply for jobs, I do my research, and I think about it for a minute, like, wait, I can't get braids this week because I might be going on a job interview there. So I need to take it out, and either I need to cut it some, or I need to figure out how to fix it so that it's acceptable in the society that we live in, per se. And it's a tough pill to swallow. So I definitely would say that the way that you wear your hair in Black America, I don't know how y'all do it in White America, but in Black America, I definitely believe that if you go in there with your hair like this, you won't get the job.
I agree with you. I've had jobs. I've been working pretty much in an office setting since about 17. And I've had cornrows and curls and all these different styles. And with my first job, it was in administration, and I would notice that I knew the job. I knew all the tasks. I would train people, do all these things, but they kept me in the back office. And I'm just like, well, I'm good enough to be outside. I'm good enough to train these people. I'm good enough to work with this team, this staff, and do all these positions, right? Why can't I be on the floor? Have me in the back office. And after a while, it sort of dawned on me, you know, the way I was looked at. It was age as well. And like, oh, well, he knows this, he knows that, he can do the job. But for some reason, we're just gonna keep him in the back, like nobody sees me. And at that time, I did have long cornrows, and it was looked at like, well, they're not as professional, right, you know, in the world as it might have changed or starting to look a little bit different. But it's just like, those things, it's what you have in your mind. It's how you handle yourself. It's how you go about your day to day, how professional you are. So your hair shouldn't, but it has affected, definitely has affected, you know, my work life in the past.
And to add on to that, I would say, I had to say to somebody, my hair ain't got nothing to do with my qualifications.
Yeah.
Let's start there. Like, I could be the smartest person in the world, so you're gonna tell me that you're not gonna give me a job because I come in there with braids or dreads. And furthermore, they won't tell you directly to your face. They'll say, well, you just don't meet it, or we were looking for this, maybe you don't have enough experience. And I'm like, nah, like that's what you want me to believe, but that's not the real deal.
Right.
But you can't tell me that directly, because obviously that's discrimination.
Yes.
And that's a whole nother problem.
If you keep it well kept though, there really shouldn't be a problem, right? If your hair is well kept, there shouldn't be any type of shot of a doubt that you can handle your business. Because I mean, if it's well kept, you're clean, you report on time, you do what you gotta do, it shouldn't matter, right?
I say it's somewhat of it's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing in the sense of, if a person says that to you, that means you don't want to work for them in the first place, you know what I mean? So if they look at your hair and they say that means they're gonna find something else to pick you apart from. So it's a blessing, because you find out the person, you really don't want to work for that person.
Do you think in the environment that it's the same for white people in the work environment?
No.
Do you feel like?
Not even close, not even close. I mean, a white person can come in with dreads, just like me, and get the same job, and I will come in and they will look at me and say, oh, you're not qualified, it's not neat, it's not that. And it is, again, what it is.
I've seen a white person come in with like a frohawk or mohawk, whatever you want to call
Right.
it. I mean, look like the rainbow. They just walked through the door. And I mean, they got it cut all like this. They got the gauges all in their ears. And then they'll look at somebody like me who got a hairstyle like this and be like, well, would you consider changing your hairstyle? Or I mean, and I'm like looking at you like, what's wrong? You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think that it's a black thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the root of it is just like it's racist.
Yeah.
Honestly, at the end of the day, that's really what it is, just racist. You know what I'm saying? So I honestly feel like you shouldn't discriminate against someone because of the type of hairstyle that they have. It could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it could be the boss. They might be wearing a toupee. You don't know.
Do you think that black men have it worse or black women when it comes to hairstyles?
Black woman. Definitely black
I
woman.
would have to say, actually, I kind of want to go 50-50 on it, but I know my black women, I know y'all like to do, them faux locks, lemonade twist, all that, so I know y'all have it pretty rough, especially when you all, go to college and you get into your profession and whatnot, and next thing you know, you go to get a job. They're saying, oh, well, can you change your hairstyle? Can you do this? And, it's just, the root of it is all racism,
I agree with you.
It's one of the worst levels of discrimination.
And again, it takes us back to, you gotta fit what I view as acceptable in society, not what you view as being acceptable in society. So I definitely think that even right now today, if I went out here and looked for a job, I probably would take my braids out. Honestly, I would probably take my braids out and just wear try to style it enough to where I wouldn't be questioned or, like, why is your hair like that? Or did you really come in here? And sometimes it's not even the person that's interviewing you that's gonna say that. You might got somebody on the sidelines that they might be going to whisper in their ear saying, can you believe you just came in here like that?
Yeah.
And they whispering to you saying, you came in here? Would you? So bottom line is, I feel like there should be no discrimination with how you wear your hair. Now, I ain't saying go in there looking any kind of way.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, be presentable.